Hello, first grader. So we have been learning about the setting and about characters. We've learned that the characters are the people or animals in the story or the creatures. We've learned that the setting is where the story takes place. And last week we even learned that the setting could change. Do you remember how you can make an apple pie getting all the ingredients from all the different places? The little girl went to a bunch of places and the setting changed throughout the whole story. Now, friends, today we're going to practice an important thing called retelling. When you retell a story, you are just telling the story again. So when we read stories, it's good to be able to retell the story, because if we can retell the story, that means that we listen to all the details, we listen to the characters, we listen to the setting, we listen to what happened, and we can tell it again and we comprehended it. So that is what good readers do. Good readers can listen to stories, maybe even over and over, and they can retell the story. Now, whenever you're retelling the story, I want you to make sure that you include important things like the characters, the important characters, include the setting, and also include something called a problem and a solution. Now, when we include a problem and a solution, that means that we're including maybe the characters had a problem, and then maybe there was a solution. Now, this may seem new to you, but I don't think it's as new as you think. So in our story, Honey, Honey Lion, there was a problem. Honey Guide had a problem. She wanted some of the honey, but when Honey Guide and Badger worked together all the time, but then one day it seemed like Badger just ate all the honey and gave her none. That was her problem. Now, when I retell the story, I can also say the solution. What was the solution to the problem? It may not have been nice, but Honey Guide led the honey badger to a lion instead of to the honey the next day. That was her solution, and everybody realized, all the African animals realized, don't let Honey guide you to the honey if you don't plan on giving her any honey. So there's something that I use to help retell the story, and it's this. I always say, somebody wanted but or so, then. Somebody wanted but or so, then. Somebody, the honey guide, wanted, somebody, the honey guide, wanted the honey, but the honey badger ate all the honey. So the honey guide decided she was gonna lead the honey badger to a lion. Then the honey badger learned their lesson. The honey badger learned his lesson, and he's not gonna do it to her ever again. I use somebody wanted but so then to help retell a story. It's easy if we say it over and over again. Say it with me. Somebody wanted, but so then. Somebody wanted, but so then. You can do this to any story that has a problem or a solution. So when we retell a story, all we are doing is just telling the story over and over again. We're just telling the story over. You can think somebody, one of the characters, they wanted something to happen and it was a problem, but the problem happened. So there's the solution, and then there's the solution. So retelling is just telling the story over again. So whenever you read stories this week, next week, as we continue reading so many stories in first grade, I want you to practice turning to the person next to you, or practice telling any adult or any other special person in your life, retell the story to them. Remember, good readers can retell a story and they can include all the important things like characters, setting, problem, and solution.